Hello everyone and welcome to a new show today with Songs of Conquest, which if you don't know is sort of a spiritual successor to the Heroes of Might and Magic franchise now that that thing is... Well, there's 8, I mean, should have been talking about 8, but hey, it's a new game that's in the style of Heroes of Might and Magic, and if you're a fan of that series, then I guarantee that you will find something to love about this game. It's not done yet, though. It's kind of still in early access. Well, on the day that I am actually making this video, it's not out yet in early access. I'm recording it a day earlier because I got a release version of the early access. So it's even jankier than the early access version is what I'm saying. So keep that in mind when you're watching this video. Haven't managed to play a lot yet. Just about 6 hours. But it's so far been enjoyable for the most part. It's going to be in early access for, I think they mentioned, near a year. So the game will change quite a bit depending on what feedback they do receive from the community. And it's quite important that the community is involved because you see this menu, right? Like half of it is dedicated to the community. Community maps. There's already community maps in the game. I'm looking forward to seeing somebody remake Broken Alliance in this. I would have made it myself, but I don't really have time to do that kind of thing. So let's go back. Where's the back button? I think it's escape. Yeah. You have the map editor, which loads in-game, and you can do a lot of stuff with it. Look at the grass. It's so cute. And the game has a very, very pixelated art style. And I like that there's these things that are visible even in the void, these little floating bits of unfocused dust. It doesn't have the shimmering darkness of Heroes of Might and Magic 2, but still it's something. Let's go actually back to... How do I exit this thing? Let's see, file edit. Quit to main menu, of course. You also have tutorials if you're interested in actually learning how the game works, because it's not an outright clone of Heroes. It has a lot of things that are very specific to it and it alone, and well, it and some other games that are similar in ways that are obvious to people that have played this genre. You got statistics about all your units and stuff, ballistas, risen. These are again, since this is very much inspired by Heroes of Might and Magic, there is a necromancer faction. They're called the Barony of Loth, and these are the equivalent of the skeletons. I mean, they're skeletons, but these are the guys you wake from the dead. They're different. Also, I'm gonna get in more details in a moment. Got a bunch, and I mean a bunch of all sorts of skills that you randomly get when you level up, and you get to decide if you level them up or get new ones. They will have 3 tiers and stuff, and you got artifacts. What's an artifact written with an E? Who cares? I'm looking specifically for a certain artifact because there is in this game something called a golden goose. Where is the golden goose? Let's see, any hand, chest, feet, head, offhand, trinket. The golden goose. Now, I have suggested that they add the diamond duck. They have yet to add the diamond duck. This needs to be corrected. You know, it needs to be in the game. So, you got your multiplayer, which is currently empty because I'm the only one currently here, I guess. You can host a game, you can join a game, and it even has a co-op mode, which you can activate in the options here, and it's still experimental. Also has a lot of options, in case you're wondering. And let's actually get to the proper game itself. So let's go to single player. If you go to the campaign, you're gonna have 2 campaigns currently, and also custom campaigns, because why wouldn't you? It's a game that's easily modifiable. You can make content for it quite easily. If you start a campaign, we'll have this really pretty map, and it's a story about Cecilia, Stout Heart Rose to Baroness. Now, Seeing words like Baroness kind of reminds me of the word duchy, and every time I hear that word I have flashbacks to heroes in the Ubisoft era and I black out. But, you know, maybe I haven't really touched the campaign yet. I'm waiting for, you know, a more final version of the game to actually go through that, because usually that's how things work. It's more enjoyable in the final version. So I have this campaign with some lizards. But the meat and potatoes of this genre is always the skirmish mode, and in the skirmish mode you have a bunch of options. For example, this is the map I currently have played, well, that I've played last. It's called Four Corners. It's one of the bigger maps in the game. I think it is the biggest. You may be seeing that they're only 4 players, and that's because, well, the maps kind of could use, the map screen could use a system of you know, sorting them by number of players or by size, which it currently does not have. Actually, this would be the part, and this would be the biggest. The 6-player 128 by 128. I do not think I would enjoy that map for a reason that will be obvious once I start loading a game. Actually, no, this is 120 by 128 as well, but it has 6 players, and you know, you can join. You can play by yourself basically, which is always fun. We can add AIs with different, you know, abilities to play normal or easy. I actually got creamed by the easy AI once, which was actually quite funny. In the game you have currently 4 factions. You have Arleon, which is basically your heaven, your knight, if you're into heroes. You have your Barony of Loth, which is what kind of necromancers. Loth will rise to its former glory, even if it means bringing back the dead. It does a lot of awesome stuff. With, I'm actually going to show you a bit of Loth. I'm just going to pick a smaller map now. I'm going to show you a bit of Loth because I think it does really neat stuff with the necromancy. Their factions would be Baria. It's more of a merchant, you know, spellcasting focused kind of scenario with actually I haven't played, I don't think I've actually confronted them in battle yet, so I'm not sure. And Rana is actually my favorite faction, to be honest, for a reason that will become obvious in a couple of minutes. This is going to be a long show, so stick in there. So let's start this game. Oh yeah, I can get to pick a hero, and each hero has their own bonuses. So let's pick Dr. Margetta with 40% spell damage. Starts with 3 cultists, an Aurelian Scholar, and Oathbound, a bunch. Let's start with this, and let's start the game. Now, the map itself initially loads quite quickly, and performance doesn't seem to be an issue at first. But I'm gonna get to that in about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So this is where you start out. And this was the most confusing part of the game for me when I first started out. I had no idea how I could, you know, build things in this city. Like this, I click on it, I right click on it, I do this, and oh yeah, but how do I recruit them? How do I do that? Well, see these things here? These are your buildings. So the way the game gets around having a town screen that maybe people will not always look at, you know, maybe they won't really take it into account as much because they don't spend that much time in towns, was to move the town screen on the map. You basically build your town here on the map. You even build walls around this place to create choke points. And if you're fighting near these buildings, the map will change to something similar. Well, it'll change to a building type scenario that has more stuff in it. Functionally, it is quite similar to Heroes of Might and Magic in terms of the adventure map. You have your resources up here, your gold, your stone, your wood. But instead of, you know, crystals, gems, mercury, and sulfur, you have glimmer weave, which is threads or something. Ancient Ember and Celestial Ore. There's one missing, so it's not on par with Heroes of Might and Magic, but hey, it's not Heroes 6 at least. In terms of heroes, I'm going to get into some combat soon, so you're going to be able to see even better what the approach to heroes was in this. The game does look quite pretty. especially if you zoom out a bit. It looks very cute, and that's a 2.5D aesthetic where you see if I zoom in, the shadow on this thing changes. But that also means that you may not easily understand that some bits are not part of just the scenery. They are interactable, and sometimes you'll have things like hidden behind shrubbery, like here. You see this thing, like this thing sticking out here? That's interactable, and you can see that it has these little shimmers around it. They're meant to signify that yes, this is something you can interact with. This one does as well. You may miss these things at first, and I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a bad thing, because from the point of view of the game, it'll just take some time to adjust to them, much like playing Heroes 2 was an adjustment for me at first. So we've leveled up, and now we have some skills to pick from, and you may notice this. Now, if you're familiar with King's Bounty, you know what this is. This limits how many troops you can bring into battle, but unlike King's Bounty, where you had the limit of leadership, of total leadership on based on the number of units you have, this effectively increases the slots that you have available. You may also notice this. There's a number here. Units have max stacks. You can't have unlimited number. You can't have 999 ghosts and just destroy the entire map. You can't do that. You can get upgrades to this number, but it's not infinite. And that does two things. One, it changes the way that you play the game. Two, it changes the way that I play the game. Because my tactic of having a single hero that's just full to the brim with stuff doesn't work anymore. But here's the good part. Unlike other Heroes of Might and Magic games and other similar titles, where the enemy faction will just spam a million heroes with basically nothing just to harass you, in this game, you can actually you start out with one, and you have a max of one until you expand your cities. And on the map screen, when you actually showing me this, when you edit the settings for the map, you can set the maximum number of heroes. You can set them between 1 and 9, I think, or something, or maybe it was 12. But you can do that, and the spam is gone. It's nicer, if you will. Now let's go back here and actually get some units. You may notice that the first unit that this faction, this essentially necromantic faction has, is the rat. You get to recruit rats as a bit of army for your game, and I find that amazing because Might and Magic is kind of famous for its low-level, rats and moles and all sorts of other small creatures that in Might and Magic games would cream you the first few hours of playtime. But in the Heroes of Might and Magic, you didn't get any rats, you didn't get any small vermin, which in hindsight is a loss. But now you have rats, which are absolutely vicious if you're upgrading them to plague rats, because they can do stuff like, venomous. Gives troops when it attacks narrative 1 plus damage. It does things. It has, each of these creatures has, abilities and stuff. The thing is that once you construct one of these, if I were to have some rats already built, already generated by the building, it generates them once every turn, not once per round, not every week. There are weeks, well, every 12 days something happens. I think it's 12 days. Anyway, if I upgrade this and there are already some rats recruited, they are not automatically upgraded to bigger, meaner rats. I have to upgrade them manually. And also, once they're upgraded, they do have that extra ability. For example, these skeletons, these Oathbound, become legionaries and get the defend ability. These guys get the well, an extended ability of what they have, but they give +1 defense as well, apart from offense. These guys gives troops when it attacks another troop. They have well, I should know. They start with the venomous. They have aim, which lets them deal more damage. These guys generate essence with units essence generates units essence for the wielder. That's an important bit I'll get to soon. And here we get to the really hardcore necromantic stuff. Scavenged bones. This is what you're building out of bones. And this, some oathbound, these guys, were buried too tightly together so that their essence fused into a single legion. To bring those back requires tremendous power. This is basically your ultimate unit. It's a bunch of skeletons glued together, and they are horrifying to look at. Actually, getting them built is a bit of an involved situation, because you have to constantly upgrade your town to actually get more building slots, or you can conquer other towns. Smaller, actually, as I've seen in the game so far, most other neutral towns are limited to either small or medium or maybe some large outposts, but not as big as the capital, so they don't have as many building slots. You kind of have to specialize the towns that you capture. You also can convert towns. Actually, should I go into combat? I'm gonna get some more rats, I guess. Ooh, a helmet. Which is already... You can toggle automatic equipment if you want to equip things automatically. You can also pillage and destroy, various buildings that you find along the way. Let's go to here and... Okay, yeah. We have there's a maximum number of units that can be generated in your town building. For example, for rats it was 20, I think. Or maybe 20 was how many were generated. Pardon. No, that's a mistake from my part. Neutral buildings, unlike heroes where they start generating units from the point where you found the building, these will generate them constantly. So if you find a high-level building that generates high-level creatures, near the end of the game, that thing has been generating those units since the start of the game. So you can absolutely, if you have resources, you can absolutely just load up on units quite quickly. So let's go to combat with these guys, I guess. So I'm gonna show you a bit of that was a random event, a weekly thing. Going to go in combat with these guys. They're threat level medium. They have an assembly of minstrels. Minstrels usually give bonuses. Now I can withdraw, I can quick battle, and I can place my units. Now, I like the fact that you're not going into combat and then placing your units. You're placing them here. This is the equivalent of the tactician skill in Heroes, but everybody has it. And I think this is a better interpretation of that, because once you're in combat, you're in combat. You don't have to fiddle with this anymore and wonder, hey, why isn't it moving and stuff. Well, I did quick battle. Notice there is no retry quick battle. That's an important feature. Let's get these guys into the army. What used to happen in Heroes 6 and 7 is I click quick battle. I don't like the outcome, I do it manually. You don't have that option here, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, you could say. Let's visit these things as well. Arcana, yeah, let's get more Arcana in there, and I'm gonna go do some combat again with something that's gonna cream me. That's gonna... Actually, no, between 1 and 25. If I get closer, I think they will... Suicide, okay, yeah, it tells you if you get close enough exactly what's the deal. So let's upgrade this down. Mystics, or I'm gonna get the laboratory because I want some ranged units. It's important that I go into combat with some ranged units because it has some really neat mechanics regarding them. So you can see buildings are not built instantly. They do have some time required to be built. And you can recruit units either from going directly to this place, I don't have enough slots actually for new units. Okay, I'm gonna need some experience then. Visited. See, one of the bad things I would say is that I don't know what this is. It's a source of power, meaning it's a source of power for my hero, but I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's worth going there. The game won't tell me that. To fix this issue, the issue of not having enough units, I'm gonna actually go here and put some of my units, this guy, put him here. And then I'm gonna recruit these people. Okay, and I'm gonna go fight these guys here. And turn. Being able to actually know what this building does would make exploration a bit more certain. For example, what does this do? It gave me +2 movement for 1 turn. I like the fact that when you approach a unit, it actually tells you the area in which it is protecting stuff. So let's go to manual battle. I didn't see exactly what kind of threat it was, so I should have been paying attention to that. Oopsie. I think I'm not sure. Maybe we'll win. Now the thing you'll notice is that there's a button here to cast spells, but you don't see mana, do you? You see 2, 3. This may be familiar if you're a player of Magic: The Gathering or similar games. These are my spells basically. The spells that are in game so far. I can't cast any of them. The reason for that is that there is no mana in the game, no traditional mana. It's a bit like Magic: The Gathering. Your units, they generate your mana. Now if I right click on a unit, nothing happens. I have to mouse over a unit and left click on it, which is a thing that it does. I would have liked it if it had a pop-up scroll when you just scrolled over a unit. That would have been better. But you can see it has essence of order and destruction, and these rats have destruction, and this guy has 2 arcana and 1 destruction, and this has arcana and destruction. This means that when this unit is activated, it'll give me its mana. See? Like that. And now I have enough mana for the following spells. Now this usually deals 10 damage. Now because this hero is focused on spell damage, it deals a lot more than that. So let's deal damage to this guy. That did a lot of damage. As you can see here in this chat window, this is the chat window up here. This is the log, which can't be resized, which is a bit annoying. Now, my unit here is out of range. It can't attack this guy because it can't reach that. But you can see these outlines, right? This is the maximum theoretical or practical range of my unit, and this is the deadly range. This is the range where it will deal full damage. Now, if I go up here, you notice I can still attack. Much like King's Bounty, you can move and then attack, which I love. But because I move this unit, I get a minus 50% range damage, which is fair. See, it tells me have moved. I have high ground, so I get a damage bonus. If I were to have gone even up here, I think I would have got an even bigger damage bonus. So let's attack these guys. And because this gal stood still, well, she's out of range. So actually that's not helping. There's no there is a defend, but only some units have defend, like the skeleton, the upgraded version of the skeleton, and there's no wait for turn. But dragons have wait next turn. These guys do not. Still out of range. I'm gonna go even further, which is a dumb idea. It's okay, they deal less damage, and my guy died, my gal died. Well, that was disappointing. Thankfully, the rats are absolute murderers. Now, when you approach this unit, you may notice that there's these things here. If you're somebody who plays RPGs, this is a threat range. This is a range in which, if I step in, the enemy will get an attack of opportunity. So we have attacks of opportunity. Now I have Ice Bolt, which dealt a lot of damage. And these guys, you can see, they're not going to attack anytime soon. They're reloading. And they have reloaded. And they're going to kill me soon. So let's do this. And attack them. And there's just 2 of them left. Now the rats are going to come back here and chomp them. Oh well. See, I passed behind this guy. And the game stopped me. He told me, hey, you're going to get attacked. I say, okay, I'm going to get attacked. And then, see, twice. I passed through 2 hexes adjacent to this unit and got attacked twice. That's fair. That makes positioning very important. And hey, it's hexes. There's no flanking bonus from what I've seen. I mean, maybe some units have it. And does this at the end. But I think it's a fair and a bit tactical system. It has a bit more of a tactical edge, I would say, as compared to Heroes of Might and Magic 2, 3, and the others. There's also obstacles that will show up from time to time. Let's do this. Curse of the Sun. What does this actually do? It gives me plus 12 defense, which is, you know, offense, defense, these add to your units, movements, view radius. You know, you got a bunch of stuff. Plus 100% pillaging and other things. So what did this thing do? Claim creation spire. Okay, it gives me plus 1 creation. Meaning I start with 1 additional mana of creation. Creation being the thing that usually, shapes essence into substance and form into substance. It would mean it does, pardon, that's order, that's chaos, arcana, creation. It does stuff like this. And this is the general spell list of simple stuff that's not aligned to these things. I think more spells wouldn't hurt, to be honest. And maybe some quotes on... Well, actually, they do. They do have quotes. Acid is less bloody, but still effective. Aggression is another way to protect yourself. Space is no barrier to chaos. I did not notice these quotes until now. God damn it. A bolt to freeze the blood and the heart of the enemy. Burn them all down. At least it wasn't burn, baby, burn. Quicken their bodies and their minds. Unleash their rage. Take away their power. Let the essence shield you from arrows and missiles. And the breath of the phoenix burns in all paths. There's no phoenixes in the game. Yet. There may be at some point. And this is your tree of knowledge. So let's get that upgrade and bam. We can now field more units. This is visited. Let's go back here. Do we have a medium? Yes, I did put that medium thing in. Guard, this increase. This is basically like your a bit like your, not your well, because a well would increase the number of all units. This is your rally point. You can. It's basically like your caravan, but it's instant, and you can use it to recruit units from any one of your towns, your other towns, I mean. But there are some special considerations to keep that in mind. Some units have 3 upgrades, and you can only get the 3rd one if you're in the actual hometown. I mean, the town where the unit was created. You cannot get that upgrade from the caravan. I think it's a means to make you actually want to travel around and not rely solely on that that feature. Oh, but one very nice thing, well, not nice in a way, there's end turn behavior advanced. Now, this was made with people like me in mind who sometimes tend to forget it. Oh yeah, did I build something in town this turn? Bam. If I click and turn, it will take me to the next hero that hasn't done anything, and to the next town that hasn't done anything. And I can, oh yeah, you have research. I'm actually going to build this thing for research just so I can show you how it looks like. Well, I could have shown you here. You can research basically both upgrades for your units. You can give them all human units, you can give them +1 to HP, and it's important that it says human units because see, these guys are undead, these guys are human, these guys are undead, these are beasts, they're rats. Actually, does it say beasts? It was supposed to say beasts somewhere. Oh, they don't have a status. That's weird. I thought rats had a status as well. Not this one, this one. Draft troop. Okay, that's weird. I thought they... Maybe it's an oversight because that would mean that they're not covered under beasts or anything else. Oh, pardon, that's the wrong button. Anyway, back to research. You can give your units a bunch of upgrades, either human or undead. Well, you can't actually upgrade any beasts because you would only have the rats, and I guess that's why. But you can give them individual upgrades based on them being rats. You can also upgrade other stuff, like the actual stacks, as I've said earlier, of how many units you can have. Keep in mind though that I think capitals, I mean big towns, can only support 2 large buildings, and you will need one of the research buildings for your ultimate unit, and the other one you can probably move to some other town. You can also upgrade your heroes by giving them starting mana, and also you have economy upgrades which give you extra units and let you build multiple buildings at once, which is a nice thing to have. So let's click the escape on that and go into some more battle. Medium threat, okay, manual battle. And after this I'm gonna jump into a more advanced scenario with some lizards. You're gonna like the lizards, they are quite lizardy. And that was painful. Let's see, I can do... This is more something you would use against another wielder to take away some of their mana. But since there's none of them around, I'm gonna do this. And just end turn. I kind of like the animations, they're cute. They don't really overstay their welcome. They're not super fluid or super complicated, but I mean, the jaw on this guy, that's something superb. I would have had some flies around this guy, you know, like the zombies in Heroes 2. But this works as well. Range, attack resistance, minus 50%. Offense versus defense, high ground gives me 20%. Let's attack frontally. Let's move these guys up. I honestly haven't found these guys to be super useful. Maybe they will be more useful when they get higher numbers, but currently not as much. See, I can do... See, it stopped me there. I could have planned out my route a bit better, but hey, let's stick to here. Now, are they in range? Yes. High ground. Okay, so it doesn't matter how higher of a... Actually, no, I'm not. Now I'm the highest ground possible. See, being on the highest ground gives you 30% bonus, which didn't do a lot, to be honest, since I only have one of those units. And I did not cast any spell to actually kill these guys. Okay, Rupture. That's gonna kill all of them, I guess. Well, 3 of them. Still, a lot of damage. Kick, bang, dead. I can't get to this guy because I'm stuck here. I will take... Well, I wouldn't take a lot of damage, but I'll take a little damage 3 times, which is a lot of damage rounded up. Poison. Don't like it, eh? Yeah, poison. Missiled. And voila. You can disable this send screen thing, but it's pretty actually. It's nice. It is quite nice. Okay, so that's it for the beginning portion of the game. I'm gonna skip now to... Actually, I'm gonna load a save to a much more involved... Let's see, where would this be? This one? I'm guessing it's this one. Now, things sort of change when you're on a bigger map. As you've seen on this map, the game ran smoothly. You barely noticed when your turn was ended. Not so much on this kind of map. Now here you see me as a lizard riding a giant chicken. Well, a frog, lizard thing, running a giant chicken. The game still seems to run... Okay, that was a thing, wasn't it? Something happened there. Let's build some walls. Yeah, walls are nice. We now have defenses. We also have... did I build the dragons yet? Did I? Yes, I do. I do have dragons built. So let's get into this town, and I'm going to show you some more units. Actually, I can just probably click on the... Actually, where did I put it? Smoldering Cave. Is this it? Oh, sorry. I'm at the wrong building. I'm at the wrong town. This... Yeah, on bigger maps it does that, which is unfortunate. I'm actually going to load... I think a different save game just so I can show you something else. Where was it? I think it may have been this one. See, in the game, you can't really capture opponents' towns. It's not built with the heroes 2 and 3 and 4 mentality and 7's mentality in mind of you know, being able to take over somebody's town and keeping their units. So here I am going to this green town and besieging it. Manual combat, let it be initiated. The game doesn't really work that way. Let's go into combat and see, these guys have a deadly range, which I would activate that ability, but these guys have a bigger range than mine, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to instead blow these up, and I'm going to attack with my chickens. Now, it's important that you see these chickens attack, because look at them. Look at them. Look at the way they run. It's so pretty. I can move here and now activate my ability. Make these guys suck a bit. I'm going to move my guys a bit further away and kill those guys. I'm gonna take my turtle and move it up a bit and move slowly, but it'll generate all its mana, which is a nice thing to have. Now I'm gonna, well, I only have 12 damage on this character because this is not a spell focused character. It's an offense focused character with a lot of items actually. Let's give somebody the plague. This guy, because I want to get rid of him as soon as possible. Oh, my chickens are... Oh, my poor chickens. I'm gonna miss you, chickens. There's no rotating the camera or anything. It's strictly 2D, and there is no zoom in on this map. Let's do that. The quote for this unit actually doesn't show you the quote in combat. It should show you the quote in combat as well, honestly. The quote for this unit is that, oh, knights have... Oh, actually going in the threat range. Knights are no threat to us. A knight's beast that you ride on has only 4 legs. Only 4 legs. Because these guys have 6 legs. Let's do that. Things like intimidated, it actually shows you here what they mean. -10 defense and initiative. Let's move the turtle up. Let's move this turtle up as well. And it can deal damage now. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? Let's use landmines. They can be quite useful because you get to place them, not like in Heroes 3 where they're randomly placed. This will not do a lot of damage. But this should do some damage. Let's kill some of those. Eliminate those entirely. Move the turtle up. Move this turtle up a bit more. And do this. You can notice that the enemy, although it could have stayed here and attacked me for much higher damage, probably reacted to the fact that I moved my units up a bit and tried to take cover. Now this is being played with easy AI, Because on harder AIs, they will, well, on normal AI, they will be a bit more of a bastard and try to kill you in more devious ways. The AI, I mean, at my level of comprehension of the game, works well enough. Let's see. Yeah, let's poison these guys. Or these gals from the sound of it. Ah, I don't have any more movement. Moving forward. The reason why I could still attack with Durl is that this thing is attackable. Let's move our dragons. Oh, I mean, they're not dragons, they're Ethra. But they will be dragons in a couple of seconds. Do I have any more spells? None that would be useful, I guess. Move the drill up. And maybe cast this again and be done with it. And the barrel just went down. Okay. So now because this town had really bad defenses, they had no walls, they had no moat. A moat is unpassable in this game. You can't cross it. You can't even go into it and get a penalty for one round. No, the moat is just there to block you completely. I have these options now. I can take it over, occupy it, and it will give me no units from itself. It will just give me these bonuses. And you may want to do this because converting it will take some time. Alternatively, you can pillage it, steal a bunch of stuff from it, even raise some buildings and leave the enemy player needing to rebuild them, but it will take 7 rounds in which you can be attacked. But if you pick this, bam, and it will generate units for you. Now the problem with the game currently, the biggest problem with the game is, you see me scrolling, right? Yeah. This is at 128 by 128. It's one of the, I guess it's currently the biggest map in the game. But how should I put this? This isn't how bad it gets. I'm gonna end turn now. Because I'm in advanced mode, it scrolls me through these and I can disable that. It's no issue. Now it starts getting... Actually, now it did it fine. I'm gonna load a save game from a bit later on, where it's less fine. The game is still in early access, so I do hope that performance issues are resolved, because currently playing on one of these bigger maps with 4 other characters, for other players, can be a bit... Well, I'm just gonna enter and show you. See, stuff like this happens. I mean, it didn't even end the turn, it just couldn't load the map fast enough. It's still not loaded into memory, and this isn't a VRAM issue. It's not a detail issue. I lowered the detail to the lowest level at one point, and it still had problems. Let's end this, and it's taking a while. Again, the enemy has only 2 heroes on this map. I specifically said it to only have 2 heroes. And it's basically locked at this point. You can change some settings. You can do stuff like, enemy AI frame rate, but I'm not sure what this does actually. No matter to what I set it, it will continue to do weird things. Actually, I think this is the save game I wanted to load, pardon me. It has some troubles loading stuff into memory and keeping them there. And when the AI turns come in, it tends to get bogged down a lot. Now again, that was just with two enemies. Not with... Actually, no. This is where it gets even worse. Let's see, where's the enemy AI? The enemy AI is on the map somewhere. Here it is. And I'm all the way down here, so I'm gonna move my hero up, which is what it's doing already. And I was going to show you the dragons, right? So, manage defenders. These are the dragons. And I can upgrade them. Only here I can upgrade them to elder dragons, which are even cooler. And the way they attack is much like in Heroes 2. They attack 2 hexes. But you can intentionally target an empty hex, and it will still hit the enemy behind it. You even have spear units. Spear units that will hit units that are, you know, a hex away. It's got some really neat mechanics. Let's see, will it attack? Okay, currently it didn't do anything bad in terms of performance like it did the last time. You know, it's even when this guy moves, like scrolling across the map, drop the frame rate from 80 to 20. That's not great. That is the definition of not great, I guess. 19. Just scrolling on the map, even zooming in. Just zooming in does that. Okay, now they want to fight. I think they want to fight because if they don't get back that castle, they're gonna die. It's the same idea that if you don't, same idea like in Heroes, but instead of instead of 7 turns, you have 2 turns, or you will lose. Now this would have been an okay army if it were earlier in the game, but now I have a whole bunch of dragons and chickens. My chickens are gonna attack. And they're beautiful. They're very beautiful chickens. Like I said, dragons can wait. They have times. And look at how majestic this dragon is. Look at it. It just looks so cool. This is one of the coolest dragon designs I've seen since Heroes 2. To be honest. I love it. I love the way the dragons look. The game looks just rad. And I can even attack this guy because, again, I can either aim at this or just skip it. See? I did that. It was cool. It's a bit too far away to do that here, but let's attack it through this. And I'm gonna move you up here. Burn, baby, burn. And then turn. Oh no, no, the reason they're attacking my chickens is that the dragons will kill them if they retaliate. So they may as well do that. They may as well do that. You see, you wanted to get the damage bonus, but it's kind of useless. Since, you know, dragons and stuff. It's, yeah, you attack of opportunity, but doesn't really matter. And bam. Dead. Toasted. Toasty, toasty, toasty. Loading back to the map takes a while. That's the problem with the big maps. They need to find a way to optimize the loading. See, stuff like that happens, and that's gonna happen a while. That's basically how every turn's gonna work on a bigger map. And it's super annoying, but I do hope it gets fixed. I do hope it gets fixed. Now, you may have seen that once I killed the enemy, I got his items, but the thing that this game fixes, which Heroes did not do up until 4 actually, is that when you fight an enemy, a neutral AI, and you lose, your items aren't just lost like they are in Heroes 2 and 3. They're dropped on the ground and you can get them back. Also, your heroes, they're not permanently dead because, you know, they're not infinite. They're perishable. They're finite. They're limited. So you can always recruit them back. It takes a couple of days for them to come back to life on their own, or you can resurrect them earlier with some cost. I think that's a bunch of games actually did that in this genre. Oh, pardon, I'm supposed to go the other way. But I wanted to show you this thing. This is a smoldering cave. In essence, it produces the unupgraded version of the dragon. You know, it's the guy with the lizard. the true fireballs. This has about 100 of them. It started generating them since the game began at around 70. It had about 100 of them, so I filled up. Some of them are dragons now, and some of them I sent to somebody else. I just didn't have, I physically did not have enough room or resources to even recruit them. That's how many they were. A lot. Quite a lot. They're just going around, taking my neutral buildings. But since I'm a big turtle, I'm gonna slowly approach him and bonk him on the head. It tells you stuff like this: you lost a farmhouse, you lost something else, you lost this. Neutral enemies grow stronger and stuff. And man, that's just choppy as hell. And there's an event: fair trade, a sign for traders. That's nice. Okay, let's play this. Put them here and manual battle. Voila. Let's get into combat with them. The first one up is the dragon, which I'm gonna... I couldn't... Don't have anything to move with dragons. I'm gonna put them here, and... Because I have... Oh, damn, no, wait. They couldn't attack. For some reason. That's too bad. Okay, so I'm gonna move these guys here then. They'll get a bonus from the dragon of, melee offense, range offense, and initiative. Because it's on high ground, it extends the bonus I get. And bam, that's a lot of undead. Move up further away. You actually basically enable Overwatch with these guys. Let's see. Well, yeah, it does have friendly fire. Which, being a dragon, you'd think it would be friendly. I mean, but that's a terrible name for it, isn't it? Friendly fire. It's not friendly. It's the opposite of being friendly. It's terrible fire. I'm just gonna give you some mana, please, Mr. Turtle. I just got blinded a bit, I guess. Clouded vision on the Etra, which gives them less range, both deadly and range in general. Let's see, I'm as the dragon and now, which I guess I could attack. Oh, so from the top there it can't attack right below it. Okay, I get it. But why can't it... can't move the dragon for some reason. Oh, curious. Very curious. I can just do this then. This is kind of... There is an equivalent to Armageddon in the game, if you're wondering. This is an equivalent to I don't know exactly what. Attack from ground. Ah yes, the guards. Come on. This guy looks like a Battletoad that maybe had one too many beers or something. You're also not limited by spells you can cast per turn. You can cast as many spells as you want to. You just have a limit set on your mana. Why can't my dragon move from there? No, really, why can't my dragon move? Is it the dragon rooted or can't it get back down? Is it afraid of heights? That would be so embarrassing. Yeah, I kind of killed my guy there, but hey. Okay, now it can move. I guess it... Oh, it has to... Okay. Being that this is a flying creature, I thought it could ignore the fact that it needs to get basically upstairs. If this square is blocked, you cannot get down from here even with a flying unit. Now, this does make flying units less overpowered, I guess, but still it is a flying unit. Though flying doesn't seem to be a keyword that the game has in its vocabulary, so I guess that's how it works. Ah. It's gonna take so many beatings to the face. Just so I can get in position. Like that. And it's dead. Victory. Again, dragons look really cool. Really cool. And it's still loading. Still loading. Victory, and I got some items. And level 12, I can now field 9 troops or get more essence. Field 9 troops. And the enemy basically now doesn't have any heroes. Which I have kind of killed. That's a neutral unit. Oh, no, there's a town. Let's see, can I take over their town? Yes, I can. Quick battle. Takes a while to resolve. Victory. And convert it. And I get initiative. Yes, initiative would do nicely. Now the enemy is going to have to regroup and rehire some heroes. And I think their castle is somewhere up here, here or here, possibly in both places. This map has also a central castle that I only just recently captured. Look at how nice this looks. Anyway, this is basically a general overview of Songs of Conquest. If you're into Heroes of Might and Magic, yeah, I think you should definitely give this a try. The price isn't listed. I'm not sure exactly how much it'll cost, but it's going to be in early access for a year, so you've got a long time to make up your mind if the game is going in a direction that you're comfortable with, that you think is nice. And look at the way the mountains, they look sort of like dragon scales, which makes sense because this is a dragon cave. You have time to make certain that the game is going in the direction that you would want it to go into, as you know, as a spiritual sequel to Heroes of Might and Magic. So far, what I'm seeing is quite nice. I mean, apart from the technical issues, it's quite nice. It does some interesting things, like what it does with the mana and how it handles... Well, not how it handles that, but how it handles heroes limits and items and units and tactical combat and other stuff. The Realm of Marches, that's a unique, that's a big purple item. Purple is good. Not as good as gold though. I mean, I have a, I shouldn't have any gold ones on this character. Do I have any on this character? No. Oh yeah, I do. The Lightbringer, which is a cool weapon. Cool. Kind of reminds me a bit of Etherlords as well. I mean, apart from this not being a card game. And it's been a long while since I played Etherlords. I don't even think I played the second one. So let's take over this castle and... yeah, let's just quick battle it. Converted. We're converting their fortress. And there's the enemy hero. Will they attack? Oh, actually I think they're going to attack my town. Aha! Okay, let's fight this final battle, and the show will be over. So far, my recommendation is that the game is okay. Give it a go if you want to. If you're looking for more in-depth coverage of it, you can be certain that many other channels will have videos about it out today or this week, because the game is in early access starting this week. I will probably try and play it more once the early access gets going and it adds more content and more features and stuff gets streamlined a bit more, and the technical issues aren't as problematic. I can even attack my own buildings, which is a nice feature to have. And turn, turtle. Ooh, got burned. Let's see, can I do anything useful with the spells? Yeah, just 12 damage, which is not a lot. Not a lot at all. Ouchie. Well, at least the dragons don't have unlimited retaliation like that undead thing does. I get one, I get two actually. I get one more. And he gets roasted. See, the advantage with dragons is that you can stay far away and not get involved in attacks of opportunity at all. Victory again. Again, this is being played on easy because on medium I get my ass handed to me. Victory. Voila. But the enemy is going to try and take this. Though it doesn't have a lot of troops, so I could probably improve my defenses a bit. Do I actually have any defenders? No, I don't. So this is a lost cause. I'll be back soon with more shows. Keep on the lookout for release of this game. Well, it's probably going to be released now in early access. And hey, at least we have something that we can sort of pretend is Heroes of Might and Magic without being called Heroes of Might and Magic. That it's actually quite nice. I'm so far not disappointed by it. I mean, maybe some more factions wouldn't hurt, but hey, there's time. The foundation seems solid so far. Will it continue to be solid if you play for 100 hours a week? I can't see that at this point. Maybe somebody else can. Goodbye. Hold up. I can press Alt and see this? Oh my god, I had no clue. I had no clue. Cool. This is quite cool. Goodbye.